Hey guys, welcome back to the Book Nook Corner. It's Courtney. I had kind of sworn off these videos, and then I decided that I wanted to do them because I know that I enjoy watching them and seeing what people are going to read, and so I wanted to share that with you guys, and hopefully you enjoy. Some of these are on my Kindles / just e-readers, Kobos, whatever, and some are physical reads, or I might bounce between the two / audiobook as well to get them read faster. So it just depends on, what I have time for, what I'm in the mood for, and whatever I have them on, ebook, audiobook, physical book. So I'm going to start with my buddy reads, my book club reads, my read-along reads, and then we'll kind of talk about, whatever else I may have time for. I thought it would be in January, and I was wrong in January. So we're gonna just try this again. And, a lot of these are carryovers, but it's all in good fun. And if I have time, I have time. But it's just fun to kind of put this list together and just see what I'm able to get done out of said list. So my top priority reads are my buddy reads. The first two buddy reads that I have, they're kind of read-along reads, would be Royal Assassin, which is the second book in the Farseer trilogy. I do have the one that looks like this coming in the mail. I also have this collection, but I'm not a huge fan of the mass market paperback, so I do want to get this edition in this book, if that makes sense. But this is just the one that I have right now to show to you. I'm not going to show you the description because I don't want to spoil anything for the first book, but I did really enjoy the first book, so I'm excited to get into this. It's a very, very classic epic fantasy. It is something that I, in some ways, was not expecting. I mainly listened to this audibly / read on my iPad, and I was really kind of taken aback a bit by the very classic writing. The narrator for this sounds so quintessential British, but I do enjoy it, and the more I listened to it, the more I liked it, because Robin Hobb, I am finding, is subtly impactful. That's the only phrase that I can use for her writing. She is not a very obvious, in-your-face epic. She is kind of more subtle with it, and it's food for thought type of thing. And sometimes I'll find myself catching on to what she's putting out there, 3 sentences later, and I'm like, oh. So that's what I have noticed with this author. The next read-along book is The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. This is the second book in the Mistborn trilogy. This is almost an 800-page book, so I may make this a 2-month situation. We're gonna see. How much is Royal Assassin? That's a 650-page book. So same with this, but I'm determined. I managed to get them both done for January, the first book in the series, so we'll see. But this was my first, Mistborn was my first Brandon Sanderson book. His writing is super easy to read, and I realize that this is a YA series, so that could be some of it. But I, so far, really enjoyed it, and that is quite the weapon that she has in her hands. Let me just say that. I'm excited to continue this series and to continue his writing because it's different. I don't know how to describe it or why exactly, but it is so different from anything that I've read, his writing. But yet the story is super intriguing. And the main character, the main female character, which is on the cover, is just her character growth, and I just really enjoyed her. She is subtly strong and just keeps pushing through, even though she's not always sure she can, and I can resonate. That resonated with me. So yes, excited about that one. So the next buddy read book with my bestie, we go to our book club brunch every month, and we usually discuss and read 2 books, or read and discuss 2 books. The first one is the second Zodiac Academy book, which I did not read all that long ago, so I'm just gonna kind of see if there's any like summaries or any videos on YouTube or something to kind of just refresh me. I'm not gonna like read the whole entire thing again, but it's new for her, so I still will be, you know, fresh to discuss it with her. The second book is Shadow of Night. We read A Discovery of Witches in January, so this is our next book club book. Along with the second Zodiac Academy, we're going to try to read these series together, so I'm excited for this one because I have yet to read it. A Discovery of Witches I had read before, but this one I have not, so I'm excited for this. I'm not going to show you the description, I don't want to spoil anything, but this is very... If I was to compare her writing to anything, it would be Diana Gabaldon for Outlander. They're very similar. They're very scholarly, very historically heavy, but I personally enjoy that for the most part, depending on what it's historically about. But this I find very intriguing and interesting. So the next buddy read book that I am reading is The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence. It's on my iPad. I don't actually own it physically. I will show you the description because this is the first book in the series. I don't know if it's going to be a series or a duology. I am very excited to read this. I've had it on my TBR and had it on my iPad for quite a while. It just looks very good. It sounds good. It sounds different. It seems like the writing is very lyrical, very different than just your average fantasy book writing. So I'm excited to see what this has in store. And we are also buddy reading Sword of Kaigen. I could not be any more excited about this. This book has been on my TBR for so long. I have tried getting people to buddy read this with me, or I put it on like as like a pick for like my book of the month for my book clubs on Discord, and like nobody ever picks it. And so I was excited to finally have someone to buddy read this with. And so we are going to try to read this for February. I'm a little scared because this is quite the chunker. It is over 600 pages. So I do also have the audiobook. I would love to immersion read this. And so I've just heard so many good things, and it just seems like it would be a book that's right up my alley, and I'm so excited to get to it. Here is the description. So along with that, I personally will be reading The Ember Blade, which is another one that I've had on my TBR for forever. This also has, 800 pages. Oh my god, what am I doing to myself? This is 800 pages, but it just sounds so good. And I have seriously had this on my TBR and been wanting to read this for so long. I do also, can't remember if I said this already, have the audiobook to this too. So I do plan on immersion reading. And here is the description. And lastly, in this little trio of books, I am also reading When the Moon Hatched as my Patreon book. We are taking February and March to read this, so I will read half now and half in March. I am excited. I also have the audiobook for this as well. I've heard such wonderful things about this book from so many people that I trust their opinion on. It is a almost 700 page book, so I will read roughly 350 of this in February and then the other half in March, like I said, for my Patreon. Here is the description. To join for any of the buddy reads, let me know, or the Patreon book. My Patreon's always linked down below. I would also like to get into Wheel of Time. I tried to do it for January, but I just ran out of time, so we'll see. This might be a little bit wishful thinking, but I'm just gonna throw it on there anyway because it's something that I would like to get to, so we'll have to see. But here is the kind of description, very awkward back of this book. This book is also going to be a maybe. It is a Discord book club that I'm also a member of. We are buddy reading it with a couple people on there, and that is Babel by R.F. Kuang. I obviously have a lot going on, so I'm gonna try to partake in this, but we will see. This is a book that I've had forever. This is a book that I've had on many TBRs and I've tried reading multiple times. It seems very dense, very kind of draggy to get through, but I have not given it like a genuine shot. I would like to try to get to this if possible. Here is the description. Then we have the ones that I'm probably most excited about for this month. The first one being Rebel Witch by Kristen Ciccarelli, I don't really know how you say her name. This is the sequel to Heartless Hunter, which I absolutely loved. That was top 3 favorite books for me for 2024. Don't know why this one just like really just hit home for me. I just really adored the first one. And so I have had this book pre-ordered for so long. I'm not going to give you the description because I don't want to spoil anything. It doesn't come out till February 18th, so we'll see how far into it I get or how that works, or I might even wait until March, but I just thought I would mention it as an honorable mention to see, you know, if I happen to get to it or not. But the ending of the first book just left me like, really? Like my heart was in my throat. I was like, that's how this is gonna end. And so I've just been like on my little tippy toes waiting for the next book. And so I'm so excited for this one. I have it pre-ordered, like I said, the physical copy, but I probably will get it on my Kindle as well so that I can read as much of it anywhere I want. There's that. This series I adore. Please read. And then the next 4 are going to be ones, the first 2 are book club books. So Courtney's Cozy Corner Discord Book Club and the Book Nook Corner Discord Book Club. And those are Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson and Yumi and the Nightmare Painter by Brandon Sanderson. I am so excited for these. These are the book box, his Year of Brandon Sanderson editions. They each come with their own special edition bookmark and just like paintings inside, and I'm just so excited to sit and just really genuinely like dive into these books with all of the kind of extra little things that come with it. And so these are for my 2 Discord book clubs. If you would like to join, as always, the links are down below, but I could not be any more excited about this. So I'm just gonna give you the little wording that's on the back because I don't think that it's necessarily a description, but it'll maybe give you an idea of the book. Here's the other one. And then I had the other 2 secret projects of his. He does have a 5th secret project, I believe, that it either already came out or it is coming out, but I just didn't have the money at the time to pre-order it, which I'm kind of bummed about because kind of would have completed my little collection. But either way, that is The Sunlit Man by Brandon Sanderson and the Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England. I would love to read these too. This one has black sprayed edges. They both have their own bookmarks and paintings and such inside, so I'm just excited to kind of dive into these and, like I said, just have it be, you know, the month of Brandon Sanderson. There is literally no description on the back of this one, but this one has this. Don't know whether that gave you any ideas or not, but there we are. So that is a crazy amount of books. Right now, I am currently in the middle of literally 5 books, so I will show you them. You just hold on. I am going to be continuing my 48-hour readathon for my Patreon in about half an hour. And these are the books that I have been reading for said Patreon. So this is what I will be picking up again, or for said readathon rather. I know that this is crazy and I know that it's all over the place, but that is me and that is what I want to do. And sometimes I just get impatient. I never used to do this. I always, whenever I was a kid and stuff and I read heavily in middle school and high school, I would always just stick with like max 2 books, usually just 1 until I finished it. And I would binge like a whole series. Now, I just don't have the patience. I have to jump all over the place. I read multiple books at a time. I read, jump between series. I'm just chaotic. Anyway, right now, for this readathon, I'm currently reading Variation, Crooked Kingdom, Cursed Crowns, Glow of the Everflame, and Siege and Storm. And I'm annotating all of them. And it is, let me tell you, such a blast. Well, I'm not annotating this one actually, but I keep thinking I want to. How do you not annotate? Like, I'm just in such an annotating mood now that it's like, how do you not annotate? Like, I will be reading and I'll be like, oh, I want to like write on that. I want to like comment on that. And then I'm like, but Courtney, you can't annotate every book or you will never finish them. It's hard. How do you guys decide? Anyway, I knew that these were ones that I loved because they're all second books in the series other than Variation, but anyway, and then obviously I also would love to throw Onyx Storm into the mix somewhere too. So am I Delulu?
Yes.
Do I have the time to finish all of these books?
No.
Is this realistic?
No.
Do I think I can do it and want to do it?
Yes.
Are we going to try?
Yes.
So that's just where I'm at right now, okay? Just let me live in my little happy land of reading every book under the sun, and we'll just continue on there. But obviously the ones that I said are priorities for buddy reads and book clubs and such are the ones that I will get to, but we can dream, right? So anyway, I hope you guys got some recommendations from this, some new books to maybe pick up and read and check out. And if you have any questions or want to join on anything with me, leave a comment down below. As always, go check out my description for my Bookstagram, my Discord book clubs, my Patreon. So fun. I'm so excited with this Patreon. I have so many fun things planned. People seem to be enjoying it. Thank you guys that have joined. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!